Tune in to News Channel 6 at 5:30 on the third Wednesday of each month. Salute to Service is sponsored by Pinnacle Bank. The Live 5 or 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai.
A mostly cloudy and breezy Thanksgiving in store with a slight chance of a few showers and storms. All the details coming up.
Now on News Channel 6 at 6, taking out the trash in Augusta. We'll have the latest on the city's garbage contract as your News at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
I'm Hannah Litt here in for Brad and Jenny. Thank you so much for joining us. Your top stories in just a moment, but first here's Jenna Petracci with a check of the weather. Jenna?
Well, Hannah, it's been a nice day. Pretty cloudy outside, but we do have a beautiful sunset happening now. You're taking a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam has disappeared, but I can show you our almanac. Our low this morning was a little bit chilly at 42 degrees. High was 68, so we were near average today and no rain today. It is pretty cloudy out there with temperatures in the upper 50s. Winds are calm, dew point of 53. Now, around the CSRA, we're sitting in the upper 50s to low 60s. Across the area, we also have some cloud cover, but no rain at the moment. You can see all of the CSRA is dry. So if you're headed out late tonight for some Thanksgiving travel plans, you don't have to worry about any rain. Tomorrow morning, between the hours of 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., we will have a little bit of rain and maybe some rumbles of thunder and lightning, but it won't be a complete washout for your Thanksgiving. Overall, a pretty nice day, just very breezy and cloudy. So the big holiday is just one day away now. Let's take a look at what's on the table. Scattered showers, maybe a few strong storms here and there, but things are definitely starting to show signs of improvement. It's also going to be very windy, even outside of areas with rain and storms. It will just be an overall pretty windy day for us. Chance of rain is at 40% for your Thanksgiving. Then just as we go into the weekend, lots of sunshine, but a big cool down. Back into the 50s for highs on Friday. And on your Saturday, we'll have below freezing temperatures to start the weekend. Coming up, I'll have a look at your full 10-day forecast, but back to you, Hannah.
All right, Jenna, thanks. We continue with millions of Americans on the road and in the skies headed to their Thanksgiving destinations. Melissa Adon has more on how that weather Jenna mentioned may affect you.
From the roads to the runways, a record-breaking number of people traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday. In both Boston and Los Angeles, some travelers showing up before the sun was up to avoid long lines at the airport.
It's the most heavily traveled day of the year, so just everybody was up an hour early, and I've had too much coffee already.
I was surprised. I was a little nervous, and I feel like we came a little too early. I'd rather sleep another hour.
Airports in the Northeast feeling the impacts from an air traffic control staffing shortage. United Airlines pointing the blame on the FAA for those staffing shortages, saying more than 343,000 United travelers have been disrupted by delays, cancellations, long taxi times, and longer flight times related to air traffic control delays. The TSA expecting to screen 2.9 million passengers today at airports ahead of Turkey Day. Others hitting the highway. Busy Interstate 95 packed. Traffic slow for drivers heading south into Delaware this afternoon.
Coming from Connecticut, there's a lot of construction coming down 95 south. Stop and go, but it's worth it.
AAA says this Thanksgiving could break records, with more than 71 million people opting to drive to their destinations this week. Many may see lower gas prices this year compared to last year.
We have just really seen demand for travel post-pandemic continue to skyrocket.
The weather slowing some travelers. Snow falling in Colorado, totaling more than 2 feet in the Rockies. The storm moving east, bringing rain and some snow on Thanksgiving. AAA advising the best time to travel and beat the traffic will be tomorrow on Thanksgiving morning. But be mindful of the local forecast and, of course, plan your trip safely around weather. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And with just hours left until Thanksgiving Day, economic experts claim your feast will cost less this year. We visited local stores to see what last-minute shoppers are looking for. Grocery store checkout lines are growing and the shelves are getting emptier, but some shoppers say they can't leave the store without their special ingredients for their favorite meals and dishes.
Specifically today, we had to make a last-minute trip for our daughter. She was adamant on making an apple pie, so we had to get some Granny Smith apples, some nutmeg, pie crust, those things. Luckily, we tried to plan ahead for the rest of it, but she had to have her apple pie. Oh, and vanilla ice cream.
Stores like Walmart and Target will be closed on Thanksgiving Day, while Kroger will operate with special hours. It's a good idea to check with a store before planning to go shopping. The American Psychological Association says 9 out of 10 adults find that the holiday season can take a toll on your mental health. Research shows this time of the year can be stressful, with not having enough money or spending too much, missing loved ones and anticipating family conflicts or tough conversations. Another factor is grief, especially if a family member or a loved one has died. Experts say parents should talk to their children because it also helps them when school is not in session.
We analyzed over 4.5 billion data points across children's text, social media devices. And what we found is that over 20% of tweens and over 40% of teens engaged in conversations about depression over the course of the year.
And health experts say if you are traveling, give yourself plenty of time to deal with things that are out of your control, like traffic, long lines at the airport, or flight delays or cancellations. An arrest has been made in an Augusta double murder. 46-year-old Tony Horn was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder. It happened just after 2:30 this morning at a home on Mystic Lane. Investigators say William and Carol Horn were found dead in their home. Both had been shot at least once, and Tony Horn is being held in the Webster Detention Center. And anyone having family or friends over for the holiday, know the importance of garbage pickup. Augusta leaders are facing a deadline for a new contract at the end of the year, but some city leaders are not ready to move forward yet. George Escala has the story.
Augusta picking up the pre-holiday trash, but residents not happy about the proposal that would send trash fees way up.
It's easy to put it on the backs of the rate users because they don't have the chain of commerce to fight for.
On the residential side.
But Augusta's engineering department director is in a fight after proposing a nearly $120 a year fee increase for next year in the new garbage contract. Raising red flags is that the fee would not just cover the cost of trash pickup, but would also provide millions of dollars in funding for other city services.
We shouldn't be putting the burden on the taxpayers for the additional cost to demo houses, vacant lot cleaning, street sweeping. We need to look at other funding sources for that.
We shouldn't be paying for street sweeping or demolition. They need to find a funding source for that.
Commissioners also asking for a new fee in the proposed contract. One option would increase it by $48 instead of $120.
Definitely the lower scale is going to be the best because we want to look out for all of our constituents.
Commissioners are facing an end-of-the-year deadline to get the contract approved. They'll try again next week, but they haven't been able so far to close the lid on the new garbage contract. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Coming up, a prisoner swap just in time for the holidays. How 3 Americans were released from a Chinese prison next. On News Nation tonight. And Jenna joins us for another check of the weather.
Well, it's looking better for Thanksgiving. At first, it looked like we'd have some severe storms. Now it's becoming less likely. It will be a warm, cloudy, and breezy day. Winds still gusting up to around 35 miles per hour, and then a huge cool down on the way Friday. I'll have your full Viper 6 forecast when we return.
It's the one thing.
Advantage.com, Facebook, or Instagram.
Now, your most accurate forecast. next with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back and happy Thanksgiving Eve. The sun has gone down and we're left with mostly cloudy skies, but staying dry for your Wednesday evening. Here's a look at our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview Cam over at Wellstar MCG Health. Not much going on tonight. The temperatures are staying pretty mild, so we aren't going to see much of a drop off tonight. We're at 58, and in fact, the low tonight is only 55, so not a huge drop off. Dew point of 53, winds are calm and around the CSRA, anywhere from the low 50s to low 60s, a bit warmer down towards the south, and definitely much warmer down in the southern half of the United States with 80s in Texas, 70s in Florida, but you can see a big gradient here with cooler temperatures towards the north, 20 in Bismarck. That's where a cold front's located, and we also have some cloud cover ahead of it. So we're watching this low pressure system, cold front draped across Texas, and then a warm front to the north around Tennessee with scattered showers and storms ahead of it, even some snow back on around Kansas and Colorado. So we are not going to see any snow, but we could see some rain as we go into our Thanksgiving. Isolated storms in the forecast as well. Low pressure will be bringing some snowfall and winter weather all the way up towards the northeast. Your Thanksgiving will start out with cloudy skies and pretty mild temperatures, getting to around 71 by noon. Rain and storms will happen between 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., but it will not be a washout. The storms will be very isolated, and you may stay completely dry where you are. So not everyone will see some rain tomorrow. Mostly cloudy still by 4 p.m., then cooling down once the cold front comes through. So Thanksgiving night will be chilly, but overall this will be the warmest Thanksgiving we've had since back in 2020. So last year we had a high of only 63. Our high this year is 73. A marginal risk of severe weather all across the area for isolated storms and some gusty winds, but the chance of severe weather is not looking very high at all. So tonight you can see just the clouds around the area. Warm front goes to our north. Cold front passes through tomorrow afternoon with a very weak line of showers and storms ahead of it. Then by Friday morning, still some lingering light shower activity, but the rest of your Friday will be nice and sunny with high pressure taking back over, and we'll have a beautiful weekend, but it will be very cold. Here's a closer look at home tomorrow at 8 a.m. Northern counties starting to see some rain first. We could hear some rumbles of thunder, a little bit of lightning, but you can see here this really doesn't look too impressive. We do have some ingredients in place, though, to allow these storms to get strong, so we'll be watching cells like this very closely for an isolated storm that could be producing some gusty winds, but that's about it when it comes to our severe weather threat. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, storms will be exiting the area and we'll be left with dry conditions for your Thanksgiving evening. It will start out very windy in the morning, gusts up to around 35 miles per hour. There's a look at 10 a.m. That will continue through the afternoon, but then by the evening, the winds will become much lighter, and as I mentioned, it will get chilly. No concerns when it comes to flooding. Rainfall totals will not be high at all. Everyone below a quarter of an inch. A 10% chance of rain very early in the day for Black Friday, but overall great day to head out shopping. Just bundle up with a high of only 58 degrees. Our lows are going down below freezing over the weekend, and then a hard freeze will be possible Monday and Tuesday of next week, but nowhere near a hard freeze tonight as temperatures will be in the mid-50s, around 15 degrees above average. Highs tomorrow will be in the 70s, and here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Sunshine throughout the weekend and into most of next week. Highs only in the low 50s early next week with those very cold low temperatures. Then we'll gradually warm up, and by the end of next week we'll see some mid-60s again. Now congratulations to today's umbrella winner. That is Dennis Allen from Augusta. Congratulations, Dennis. You can pick up your Viper 6 umbrella here at the station and sign up to win yours on WJBF.com.
Congratulations, Dennis. And at least you're going out of town this weekend for Thanksgiving because you get to avoid the storms and the bad weather
Yes,
tomorrow.
exactly. It'll be a nice sunny weekend where I'm going, but it is going to be cold all across the southeast.
Oh, no. And you're going to Alabama, right?
Yes.
Is your fiance going with you?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
and it will be even colder out there. But yeah, that's where his family is, so we're excited to see them.
Yes, I'm happy for y'all. And drive safe.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And coming up, the Georgia Bulldogs square off against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Hear more from both coaches on how they're preparing for the game in sports.
If you've been arrested for a DUI in Georgia, you may only have 30 days to protect your license or your privilege to drive here. Hi, I'm Tiffany Duncan of DUI Duncan, the DUI firm here in Augusta. Visit our website at DUIDuncan.com to see what we've done to help so many drivers. If you've been arrested for a DUI in Georgia, call me now for a free consultation. While the firm, of course, cannot guarantee results, we do guarantee hard work and fast action.
Remember the name, DUI Duncan. You can't always choose the way. trusted, the Live 5 to 6 mobile app. Download it today. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
The Georgia Bulldogs host Georgia Tech on Black Friday, and they'll look to extend their 6-game winning streak against the Yellow Jackets while also expanding their 30-home game winning streak.
The rivalry, also known as clean old-fashioned hate, dates back to 1893. The Bulldogs are 7-1 against Georgia Tech in the Kirby Smart era. However, Georgia isn't taking the Yellow Jackets lightly, who are seeking their 8th win on the year.
He's doing it the good old-fashioned way, hard work, recruiting. They're in the same recruiting battles we are. They're going after the best players in the state, just like we are.
Georgia's coming off a 59-21 win over UMass, racking up nearly 300 yards of offense with 4 passing touchdowns.
They pride themselves on being a physical team. They pride themselves on winning the line of scrimmage. And then, they don't just say it. They backed it up. They backed it up not just recently. I mean, they backed it up for a long period of time. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
On the defense, the Bulldogs are preparing for both Georgia Tech quarterbacks Haynes King and Aaron Philo.
Before you even know who the quarterback is, you gotta know what kind of game it's gonna be. And it's gonna be physical, it's gonna be tough, and you gotta, to play good football, you gotta swarm. Like good defensive football, you gotta swarm and tackle well.
The emotions of any rivalry game run high, but this one in particular runs deep through both programs.
You go to Georgia Tech, they're in our state, and they got a tremendous program, and more of our kids have been recruited by them, and they know. I mean, they get the sense of the importance of the game from the older players on the team who've played in it and the coaches.
Kickoff is set for Friday, 7:30 p.m. right here on News Channel 6.
And in college hoops, the South Carolina Gamecocks face off against Virginia Tech in the consolation game of the Fort Myers tip-off. They're seeking their 4th win on the season. Carolina leads Virginia Tech 4-0 all-time in neutral court matchups. The game tipped off at 6 p.m. on FS1.
But Deanna, thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
Transmart USA is open. Transmart USA is open.
For Thanksgiving tomorrow, we'll see a few isolated showers and storms. Not a complete washout, though. It will be warm, 73 degrees, but becoming chilly at night. Low of 46 going into Friday. Sunny skies into the weekend with some below freezing mornings and a hard freeze possible next week.
And moving along, how would you like to fly from New York to London in just an hour? A company called Venus Aerospace wants to make that happen. They're developing a hypersonic jet called the Stargazer. It will use a rocket engine to bring the plane to hypersonic speeds of 3,600 miles an hour. The plane would fly at 110,000 feet, allowing passengers to see the curvature of the Earth out of the window. What do y'all think about that?
That's what ruins it for me.
No,
Seems a little bit scary. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to know, is this foolproof or...
No. Yeah, probably like that Titanic submarine thing. Like just one of those things you should probably not do.
It would be convenient, though.
Yeah, an hour flight? That would be awesome.
Yeah, well, that's our report for now. News Channel 6 continues at 7 o'clock right after World News Tonight, and we'll see you again for News Channel 6 at 11. Thank you so much.